BB and Jack Frost. What's up, party people? Hey, before the video even start, hit that like button, subscribe, join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bonus. Let's get it. Alright, so I don't got much information on this particular story, but I'll tell you what I do have, and I'll also share my opinions on it real quick. Um, right here it says, Airmen pleads guilty to child sex trafficking. See, the whole trafficking is basically the big thing, because you could have just said he was pimping the girl out, but no, he was trafficking her. Okay, so basically it says a former Dover Air Force Base airman is facing a potential life sentence after pleading guilty to sex trafficking of a child. That's crazy, because if you know that you had a potential of a life sentence, like, why would you plead this? I'm not talking about sex trafficking in general. I'm talking about, why would you plead to anything if you know that, wait, was it a potential death sentence if you would have took it to trial? Like, that's the questions you gotta ask. Anyway, a former Dover Air Force Base airman is facing a potential life sentence after pleading guilty to sex trafficking of a child. 25-year-old Daylon, is it like Dylon? Remember that guy Dylon? I think he was making a band or something like that. He was always fire. Anyway, so 25-year-old Daylon Washington of Philadelphia faces at least 10 years behind bars after entering a plea on Wednesday. Okay, so he's facing 10 years while the other guy is facing a potential life sentence. You know who spoke. Prosecutors agreed to drop charges of sex abuse of a minor and conspiracy to commit child sex trafficking. It's leading me to believe that there's a potential that these guys were partners. But another airman, 21-year-old Akeem Biza of Pompano Beach, Florida, pleaded guilty to sex abuse of a minor and faces up to 15 years in prison. I'm going to explain why all of these sentences are crazy in a minute. Okay, both men will be sentenced in January. They were arrested after the girl told a social worker she had stayed at a military base and had sex with service members. Court records indicate that the girl had a troubled life at home and often lived on the streets. Okay, so they preyed upon her is basically what happened. Okay, I'm assuming that the first gentleman, he was the ringleader. He was either the ringleader or the one that decided not to speak. But he took the deal. So it's hard for me to believe that he just decided not to speak. It makes me believe that there's a good chance that he was the ringleader. You don't take a deal that's going to give you life unless it was a potential death sentence. And I can't see, this being something that America would give somebody a death sentence for. Although that's Florida, and I wouldn't be surprised. The other gentleman faces, they said, 10 years behind bars, and they're dropped charges against him. So it is 100% sure that Daylon Washington is the guy that spoke up. And not for nothing, I'm not admonishing him for speaking up. All right, like, I'm not mad at him. I'm like, hey, yo, why you a rat? I'm not coming at him sideways like that. What I'm saying is that y'all all knew that this was wrong. Y'all knew that that girl had problems at home. Y'all preyed on this young girl. He shouldn't just get 10 years. That's what I'm saying. They preyed on this young girl. There's no telling how long that young girl was there. There's no telling how many men she actually slept with. None of this is you can't tell. Okay? But they said this one particular guy, Akeem Biza, he pleaded guilty and he's gonna get 15, and he faces up to 15 years. So he was definitely a John. While the other two they couldn't place it on him. You understand? Like, they couldn't place him actually. She didn't know enough to put him as anything else other than somebody that she had sex with. No, maybe he was the one of those guys that he had sex with her and he was trying to get some on the side without those other guys knowing, and gave her information, and whatever the case is, all of these guys deserve to get locked up. She's obviously a child. I read another article in which where basically she was still like in high school. So she was probably about 15, 16 years old. And these are grown men passing her around. They deserve what they get. They deserve what they get. Grown men passing her around. She's a troubled youth. We supposed to be helping our youth. No, this is crazy. Um, I had a different video up, and I was speaking about, and basically the video was about child molestation. And a feminist came in there, like feminists love to do, and said something that was just absolutely insanity, and said that, oh, y'all wouldn't be so upset if it was a man raping a young girl, and the only reason why I had an issue with the molestation is because it was a man raping a little boy. Are you sick? Sex with children is sick. To assume that somebody, without any provocation, you're just assuming that somebody would be okay with that, is sick. It's sick. Just to assume, with no provocation, that somebody would be okay with a grown man having sex with a child period, is sick. Please, feminists, stay away from me. The females that really want some kind of change to happen, the females that really want men that do what these men do and for them to be held accountable, the females that really want equal rights and treatment, come holler at your kid. Y'all. But the feminists, all men are bad, them, you can keep that as far over there as you can get it. How about that? Because I don't have time for it. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. I don't got time for it. This young girl was molested and passed around. There's more people that's involved in this. They can't just be just those three. Because the first guy looks like he was making a bundle off of her. They want to give him life. He's the one that probably groomed her. He was probably having sex with her and then got her to agree to do the other stuff. He groomed her. That's what he did. I don't think a life sentence is necessarily, you got people out here doing a lot worse than that and not getting life sentences. You got people that go do a murder and come out in like 10 to 15. Shit is crazy. To get a life sentence after you pled, it just seems a little bit weird as far as how the laws in America go. But what do I know? And not for nothing, this guy's out there grooming children to be raped, so he most likely deserves it. That's all I got on this one. I want to know what y'all guys think about this. Leave the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, join the notification gang. Hashtag Grown Spawners. Let's get it. I love y'all. Keep each other safe. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out. Feminists, stay away from me.